Everyone. Welcome to this webinar. I'm Assistant Professor Dr. Salome Hayat Kahoui, and I'm honored to be the moderator of this session today organized by Arkin University of Creative Arts and Design, the Faculty of Design, Department of Interior Architecture and Environmental Design. You will be hearing a presentation from Mr. Ala Albarazi about public space and the Metaverse, a very timing subject. Before we get started, I wanted to take a few minutes and introduce him. Ala Albarazi, architect, educator, urban designer, and XR designer. Ala is a dynamic creative technologist with a strong international background in architecture and urban design. He possesses a passion for integrating emerging technologies into sensory design application with a solid foundation in theoretical research and practical experimentation. Ala has successfully contributed to numerous projects at the intersection of technology, art, and science. Ala holds a master's degree and MFA terminal degree in design from Virginia Commonwealth University. Additionally, he pursued entrepreneurial studies in creative art at HEC Paris University. Prior to that, he obtained his master's degree in architecture and urban design from Eastern Mediterranean University. Aloy's undergraduate education led him to earn a Bachelor of Architecture from Eastern Mediterranean University with a distinction of high honor. Now, Ala is a researcher at Virginia Commonwealth University in Qatar and part of its research lab, Intangible Lab. Besides his work as the CEO of the creative platform, the Design Studio. I would like to thank you, Ala, for dedicating your time and accepting our invitation and joining to this webinar. The platform is yours, and we are so excited to hear your presentation.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Saloma, for the nice introduction and for your nice words. As Dr. Saloma mentioned, that I'm engaged in 3 integrated fields. First, as an architect. Second was as an urban designer, which usually urban designer deal with cities and bridges, street, public space. But I was more into the psychology of togetherness and animal behavior. And the last one, as a sensory designer, or what I call it, the R design, XR, extended reality, virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality, and all the overlap in between them. I've been working in the field of, I call it ta'aruf, which is to know each other, for the last 5 years. And I like to start any presentation regarding this field with a from the Quran as a personal inspiration for what I would like to say in the next 15 minutes. And for those who don't believe in Quran, I'm not forcing you. Listen to it in whatever shape or form you want to listen to it. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. يا أيها الناس إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا. A quick translation. O mankind, we created you as male and female and made you into nations and tribes, that you may know each other. So the reason of creation and being different, according to Quran, is a chance of knowing each other. Today I will talk about public space and the metaverse, with a case study that applied first in Qatar, called the Meta Mosque, a project done to explore the mosque as a virtual public space. This is the structure of what I will be talking about in this presentation, starting with the why. Why I'm into this kind of field, starting from the war and conflict. We are in the era of the greatest communication. You agree with me, right? We've never been with technology that allow us to be close to each other as we have nowadays, which is supposed to reflect on how humanity can connect. But the irony here, that this era has all the feature to be one of the bloodiest time for the human being. As a reference, Dr. Muhammad Al-Aboudi said, we are in the bloodiest era in human history. where we are growing apart from one another instead of getting close to each other. It's impossible to deny the advantages of the technology, but the social unity was one of its victims. Mass alienation started to grow faster and faster. The social isolation was even stretched further, because of the pandemic. If technology continued to grow at the same certain pace, it's most likely to witness an increase of conflicts, wars, and alienation, both internally and externally. From there, I want to move to the second part where we're going to talk about the public spaces. I want to take you to a story of evaluation of public spaces. Story not far away, just 50,000 years ago when humans started the system. People formed themselves in groups to protect each other. So I can go to sleep while feeling safe because I trust you to watch my back at night. By the morning, you go to sleep and I will hunt for you and for your family. This was our first public space, around the fire back then. And I want to stay more on the slide and talk about our today's public space, malls, cafes, exhibitions. It's the modern public space we have. But why we need it? I mentioned in the beginning that I have a background in animal behavior, and I want to use one of my favorite studies that if you take a lab rat and traumatize it and put it in a cage by itself, you can maintain its trauma symptoms almost forever. But if you take the same lab rat and put it in a cage with other rats, after a couple of weeks, it's pretty much okay. This is the effects of the others. This is why we need each other. So now I want to talk a bit about why I choose Metaverse and why I see Metaverse as our future public spaces. I want to remember with you that the Metaverse criticized in early 1990s. It's not made by Meta, Facebook. It's really an old term that refers to a method of public relations using digital space. Any digital space that works as a public space. In this digital age that we are in, the smartest way to reestablish a united community is to make use of what is in our hands. Our mobile phones become an extension to our hands nowadays. Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat are other examples of a virtual metaverse we have nowadays. A WhatsApp group, it's a metaverse, right? A Facebook group, it's a metaverse, in which people are able to bypass physical limitation and interact socially, even by text. What we're doing right now, it's a metaverse. It's a meeting through the metaverse. We're trying to share our videos, audios, and our slides, and talk about topics. Facebook founders, Mark, proposed a new metaverse where people can engage in different activities and experience, triggering a sense of community. This virtual reality platform aimed to combine human emotions and expand social interaction into an immersive world. So he didn't invent the meta, but he just tried to introduce a new kind of platform for us. Why I'm telling you, even for a small scale, he didn't produce or he didn't invent the metaverse. Because there is another platform called VR Chat, for example. It's really an old one, already exists on VR applications, where I spent around 200 hours to do my project. Unfortunately, there was something missing when I spent those 200 hours. The metaverse is a total physical isolation. So I'm trying to bring people together, but I found that there you isolate yourself more. So what is the problem? When I spent the 200 hours there, I found it's full with kids actually, because parents usually buy those VR headset, those Oculus to their kids to play with it games. So our target, our users, still, not there. And what is missing, actually, they need an aim. We need to give those people an aim to stay there virtually with other people, not just navigating around, playing around, talking with other people, or doing nothing. So can we find a way that same technology that isolates peoples nowadays to become the one that bring them together? I want to start with one project as example before I start with the metaverse or MetaMosque. I was testing technology in public space. What MetaMosque did, actually, it was testing technology as public space. So this project, I released it in 2020 here in Cyprus, does not exist physically. It's an AR, augmented reality, portal doors, and virtual doors all over the city. I didn't touch this mosque, the Lala Mustafa Pasha Mosque, or any other historical landmark where we located our doors. This is a quick video. Let me just see if for one of our doors. So we had those panels where you can scan them using your camera. And they will open a virtual door in front of you. You start locating that door in the space, and the door will read your physics and surrounding. The time you step into the door, the music, a location-based music, will start. It's the same point, but from the sky. So you can see the city from a different perspective. The dream to have 50 doors by the end of this year. Proposal of helping people to activate their spaces and encouraging people to interact with each other, where talking to a stranger is highly granted. This project also came with its statistic and studies and survey. You can find it online if you need more details. Then I want to move to the mosque as a public space. There is a hadith saying that the earth is a place to pray. So for Muslims can participate, pray at any time, any place. And the mosque, in its mobile functional sense, it's a declaration for Islam. It's really rare to happen in any other religion to move the place of worship with human wherever they are. There is a study done in Malaysia talking about what is the best public space in their cities. And the survey showed that into settlement, people were voting for mosques because it's accessible, comfortable, and clean, and it's take care about the social aspect of their community. From there, combining the two theory of metaverse as the public space and the mosque as a public space, I came to the question, can the mosque be a virtual public space? How the metaverse is a chance for the mosque to not re-exist, but reinvent itself back as a public space. Meta, by the way, it's mean after or beyond. So what is beyond mosque? What is the other dimension of the real space? I'm going to play this video. This is where we were just investigating this project. So we created very simple space where we allow people to have their avatars and log in there with their full avatar and interact with others. Then after that, we were also testing, can we get some real physical touches inside? So what we did is we located sensors in real physical location in the room, and we have those location inside. And if you touch people, this interaction will move inside. So we're moving also the sense of touch to not just isolate people, but allow them to be physically, appearance, but also virtually connected. So the MetaMosque in its final stage We work on very small details. From the logo itself, it's the double aim with some Islamic elements, to how we presented there. This mosque actually had two exhibitions. This project has two exhibitions, one in Qatar and one in Dubai. This is how we present it in Qatar. It's a dark room with an opening on the floor. It's a kind of limitless effect. This is the sketch when we were thinking about it. It allows you to teleport from the real life or the real world to the virtual one. We work also about how we want our headset to look like. So we thought about the hats that Muslims usually use. Different color, different background, from different culture, but all of them, they have those kind of ornamentation on the hats. So combining the Islamic hat, which is named kahfiya, with the modern cup, and with the headset itself to have a kind of a design, stylish things that people can use it. And we have it out there in the market as a prototype. Anyone can go and produce it. Even the pattern that produced for the headset, somehow it is challenging the architectural element of the mosque. The mashrabiyah, I don't know if you're familiar with it, it's really an kind of popular element in the Islamic culture. So the mashrabiyah that we're having here on the headset, starting really intense in the front and slowly disappearing toward the end, because in virtual reality, the space has different elements. You don't have to have all the walls and columns we're usually talking about. It's a space. This is another photo for the headset. And this is the sketch how we produce the MetaMosque. First, what's on the left down is the top view. So it's an island actually in the middle of the sea with a floating dome. Again, it's another message to the architectural element of mosque, because previously in history, the mosque wasn't came with any of those elements, right? I mean, the mezzana or mihrab or all those famous elements, it's not a must. It's a decoration we added later on. This is somehow we used Unity. So apparently it's a game engine to create our environment. And this is how it looked like from inside. We have the main area when you can log in with your avatar. By the way, the avatar can be created in 5 minutes with a personal photo with white background, and you'll have it forever. So you'll have your own avatar that look like you. And then the strategy of having or creating other islands in the sea that you can teleport to them and be with your friend on, for example, this room where it has a big cinema, you can watch movies there, or we have other activities, you can read books with your friend or just meet and talk. It's a prototype. It's an open source prototype. Anyone can take it and build it from what this stage actually. This is me, don't laugh. This is how we presented there. The message was really simple. We didn't target the private section of the mosque. Actually, we went to target the public area. So the private is the same, but the public become limitless, connected overseas. This is the exhibition room. And this is the message between the digital on the top toward the Islamic ornamentation that's disappearing from the bottom, together to create a virtual public space, help people to interact. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ala. It was a very exciting presentation. We enjoy a lot. It was very interesting, actually. I saw the first time that how the architectural structure, which we know as a mosque, can be changed in something totally different. I have a question. So, did you do any other projects? I mean, apart from the mosque, did you touch any other public space with the same, let's say, theoretical, let's say, background? Or
Sure. I mean, since I present this project in different places and different areas, so many people came to me and want to take the project to another place, not just mosque. So
yeah,
some of them they came with churches, some of them as a community center, some of them they proposed, can we take it to our business and make it our company where they can meet and have meetings. So that's why I keep saying it's an open source project. But where because I started in Qatar with Islamic background, I wanted to focus on mosque there from a local context. But
yeah,
apparently people want to take it more than that. And right now we have another project. Actually, it's more toward the mosque. It's starting by Middle East. In the Middle East, we're launching next month, and it's going to be a huge kind of platform that allow people to do maybe Hajj together. The Islamic Hajj. So
yes,
we're
I
working
know.
on that to make it more commercial, not just a research project.
Interesting. It's very interesting topic. Thank you so much. Do you have any friends, any questions? Thank you so much, Ala. I would like to thank you once more on behalf of the Arcot University to accepting our invitation and also dedicating your time. Hope to have you in other seminars and webinars in future, learning more about this topic from you. Thank you so
Sure.
much.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be with you guys. Please contact me if you need any question or any further kind of collaboration toward this kind of subjects. I'm doing a lot of like also sensory design, not just VR or AR in public space. We do, sensory touch, sensory vibration, those kind of activities into public spaces, and we see a lot of like a nice outcome coming from those experimentation. Thank you so much, Kristaloma. Thank you
Thank
for
you so
having me.
much.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.